computer. Hello, everyone. Welcome to a bonus episode of CapZ discusses its upcoming release. I'll go ahead and go through the disclaimers because this is going to be recorded and uploaded. So we eagerly abide by CNCF's code of conduct. So please be kind to one another. We'll probably have lots of real-time back and forth. So normally we would ask folks to raise hands before speaking, but we can be a little bit more permissive in this collaborative discussion. Okay, without further ado, let me share my browser. Let's see, let me head over to Master API Provider Azure. Okay, that's good enough for me. Okay, are we seeing my screen sharing is paused. Now I'm screen sharing.
I'm just seeing a URL.
Yeah, it's not sharing the right thing, I think.
Something really zoom.
That is
It was just
not my
sharing
fault.
one text field.
It's not my fault.
Just share this one element of one window.
Okay,
That's good.
how is that? Great. No, I think actually, let me just click on a milestone. How do I get to the milestone view?
Click on
Looking for a
milestones in the upper right. There's a big milestones button.
But doesn't that just filter? Oh, there you go. Thank you. Okay, great. So should we first of all prune the existing issues and PRs tagged for the 113 milestone? Should that be our preliminary approach here?
Yeah.
Cool. So context, we're releasing 2 days from now, and based on the amount of stuff here, we can pretty confidently say that we need to move the bulk of these to the next milestone. So I'll just go down one by one. Hopefully that won't be too tedious. And actually, I'll just select, and so hopefully we'll get a bunch at once. So is this gonna tell me if this doesn't go to next?
There is a non-zero chance given that I will be able to finish this today or tomorrow. So I wanted to leave it on.
All right, don't tell me the odds.
It's not
All
likely, but
So is there a PR for this already, or is this a new PR you want to open?
there isn't one yet. So if you want to push me and say you're not going to do it, then I will back down. But at this point,
Will the PR be hard to review? I think that's more my concern. I think you'll be able to do it. It's more, will we be able to review it by then?
the PR might be a little tricky to review because we're replacing.
What's the scope of the work?
So I've submitted several PRs in the past, and basically all that's left now of Go Auto Rest are the places where we're using essentially the environment struct to house a bunch of variables like auth endpoints and things like that. And then we pull them, but we're not actually using functional code out of Go Auto Rest anymore, but we are using the struct. So my thinking at this point is we would effectively clone that code and just use something in our own code base that looks a lot like the environment struct. And I think that'll do it. So I don't know, or I could do it.
That doesn't sound hard to review. Like if literally we get rid of Go Auto Rest and we make a couple of new type struct definitions, and all the existing references are now pointing to this new type library that's local.
That was
the fact that it compiles would suggest that that's been completely done because it'll no longer be in the dependency graph. That should be easy. I actually don't know if that's hard to, I don't know if that's easy to actually pull off as a dev between now and say today, but it doesn't sound hard to review.
Okay. That's just off the cuff what I think needs to be done. Once I dig into it, I may find there's something weirder there, but and I may not even have time to get to this, but I wanted to leave it on.
That's
we've talked enough about it.
I think let's just leave it and then make it low priority. I don't think that's one where we have to get it in, but if we get it in, great. If not, that's fine.
Right.
Cool. Okay. Add UX for
That's-
workload identity for cloud provider Azure.
That's definitely not making it. I think Ash Dash has said he hasn't had time to work on it, and we're gonna, I think, work with the um, workload identity folks to improve this design. We're meeting with, some of us are meeting with them today.
Great. Love the clarity there. David T is not here. Does anyone know about this one?
This
That's
is
Willie's
Willie's
PR. Yeah.
Oh, this is a PR. Uh-huh. I didn't realize that.
Or it's
this
an
is-
issue that points to a PR by Willie.
Okay, cool. You guys have the insider scoop.
And we just need to review Willie's PR.
I assume this
Is
has
the one
been,
at the bottom. I don't think you
I was
clicked
just,
on the
I
right
was
link.
just making sure this is merged.
Yeah, it has. Yeah.
Okay.
The PR, yeah, is the PR, what's the status?
Is it worth? Yeah, that's great. So what's test status? AKS is not passing in. This affects AKS. And
Yeah, this is the one where he's having issues with the tests. The extension
cool.
is failing to install in the end-to-end test, but other than that, the PR is ready for review.
I think that we should probably punt it for review for the next release, if based on your description.
I think I would say the fleet one is probably higher priority from the two PRs Willie has out there, but this one is like a stretch goal.
Okay, cool. And also based on John reporting anecdotally that the AKS tests have passed like 6 straight years. So the test seems stable to me. Right, so I'm gonna select this one. And then that. And is there a corresponding PR for this down here? This one?
No. I don't think, is there a PR? No, I don't think there's.
Okay, I'll just go ahead and sign needs to be next. Whoops. Okay, Cecile, you've been working on this, right?
Yeah, so that one we can kick to the next milestone because at this point we've done everything we can, but making it available in all templates will require a change either in image builder or Helm chart or something, which
Right.
we're currently figuring out with the cloud provider folks.
Cool. So there's no PR for that, right?
Actually, I have one more PR that's kind of cleaning up some stuff, but I wouldn't say it's fixing this particular issue. So
Looks like it
No.
didn't get assigned to the milestone, so that's fine. So
yeah,
don't
actually,
see it
let
in
me
this
move the
list.
other PR in the milestone because that one should make it.
Okay. Reuse Azure Service Operator for infrastructure as code. Do we have a corresponding PR for that?
That one
That
is, I
sounds
think,
big.
I think that should be moved to the next milestone. I think Noah said he wasn't gonna be able to make it by then. That one requires
Cool.
design, and I think we haven't even agreed on the design yet, so I don't think we'll be able to get it designed, implemented, and reviewed in 3 days.
Got it. Okay. This, I think, I see other things that would suggest that
This,
this
yeah.
is not done yet, so I'm gonna move that.
No, please keep that one.
This and
Yay,
the
good, a
PR at the
win.
very bottom of the list just need more review.
This
think
one,
they're-
I would
Okay.
say, is actually even a release blocker potentially, right?
We kind
Cool.
of defined it that way, yeah. But it should be
Um,
ready to
Can we-
review.
I
Can we
have-
account for that X?
So actually, Matt, I think it's waiting for author. John
Oh, it
approved
is,
it. I
okay.
have one less comment that yeah, might be controversial, but
Cool, we'll take that async, but not
Okay.
getting kicked out of the milestone. Great, good news. Any comments on this one, Matt?
Oh,
The
man, I
bug?
still didn't get to even look at that. this, I don't know what needs to be done to make me actually check this out.
All good.
Yeah, go to the next milestone. Sorry about that.
I forget, did we make any headway on this? This has been around for a while.
Yes, we kind of like half or maybe a third of the way fixed this. But I think there's still more work to do there. So yeah, I think we should keep the issue open but punt it to the next milestone.
Sounds great. Okay, we'll keep this one. Oh, this one's still here. That's a bummer. Sorry. Sorry if you're watching the recording login. I assume we're not gonna, is this in rebase purgatory?
It's all rebase and everything. I think there's just a couple open threads left in the review, and we might have found an ASO bug. We're not sure, but we're following up.
Okay, let's keep it in. Sounds like we have another fighting chance. Does that sound fair?
Yeah.
Are unit tests failing?
Yes.
Like they were.
I think it's probably something
Okay.
super trivial.
Okay.
I'm not tracking this one.
This one, I think, they just addressed the comments like over the last
Oh,
few
this is it.
days. So same author. This one we
Yep.
wanted to get in for the previous milestone and then it didn't make it. Who was I the reviewer
looks
or
like
was
we can
someone
do
else the
it.
reviewer for this one?
Looks like you are.
Ashutosh,
Yes.
you.
Okay. Can you assign me and then I'll take another look in the next 2
Yeah, it looks like
hours.
it's green. Thank you, Cecile.
Thanks.
Okay. Same author. Anyone have any? I see Willie's avatar there.
The comments addressed.
Doesn't look like it.
Okay,
Cool.
so that
I'm
one we can
literally
probably kick back.
cool. I mean, maybe we can just. So we've got equivocal feedback here for. So Willie's literally given it a /LGTM, but you've asked for, I think, some fair review. So we should probably say it's not actually LGTM, right?
Yeah, I mean, Willie said looks good pending Phil's comments. So I think my comments are all kind of trivial, minor. So nothing blocking, but yeah.
Is it passing all the tests or?
Someone would need to have detailed. This is probably failing on the to-do comments.
Yeah,
Would you want me to comment and ask them if they're able to address those few comments?
Don't we have any claim?
I mean, they've been active on their other two PRs, so they probably just haven't had cycles to revisit this one, is my guess.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll keep that in this milestone. Okay, let's punt this. Is that okay, John? Great,
Yep.
thank you. I don't mean to deprioritize it, but more that this is not going to actually affect the release. And I feel like we want to have some more time to back and forth it so we get the proposal right. Cool. Anyone aware of this bug?
I did follow up on that a little bit, and I've kind of convinced myself that it was kind of a fluke thing.
Okay.
But
Let's
yeah,
just release 113 and then close the bug and tell them to use 113.
sounds good.
No. Is it worth making a comment to retry the scenario again after the 113 release to see if it still exists, or is that
Yeah, I can make that comment.
okay? I think I'm going to punt it because it doesn't sound like there's anything we're going to actually triage and fix in the next 36 hours. Okay, is this getting punted?
I don't know. It'd be worth checking where that one is at. I'm not sure.
It's an issue.
Yeah, I mean
So-
checking with Nawaz, but I don't.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
Nawaz's
it's
thing.
NPS.
I see. Got it. Okay, so it looks like this is a PR. That's a CO landed. Does any? I guess I don't really understand what this is. Cecile and John, do you understand what this is?
Yeah,
Off the top
so
of your head.
basically the upgrade test right now only includes a self-managed Azure cluster workload cluster, but we also want to include a managed cluster in that test too. So that's what this test or that's what this issue is for, is to add a managed cluster to the upgrade test.
Got it. Okay, I'm gonna punt it because I don't think this is. There's no evidence that work is almost done on this. It sounds like a good thing to do. Do we know that that won't work without some changes to the upgrade test scenario?
I don't think there are any known bugs with upgrades with managed clusters at the moment, but we've had to fix a couple recently.
Got it. Okay, add test that upgrades CAPC from latest release branch to head. That sounds useful.
That one has a PR, so I'm not sure.
Okay, maybe the
the
PR isn't
PR is
tagged in the milestone.
Oh, it's there. It's tagged with the issue.
But I mean, maybe it doesn't have the milestone. Oh, is that it? Is it this in here?
Yeah.
No. Okay, it's whip. How whip is it?
Yeah, it's not passing. So probably pent as well.
Okay, cool. So I'll just say preemptively. Wow, good. Thank you for not adding to this semicolon milestone. I don't know if anybody saw that. Okay. Milestone next. Okay, we'll keep the fleet one in. We'll keep this one in. And I remember having a comment on this. It seemed like
Yeah.
it seemed like it was actually done. I just didn't understand one thing. Now that you're here still,
Yeah,
I'll ask you.
I'm having issues with the upgrade test. It's failing, so I need to debug that. But I was hoping to get it in since it's just a cleanup.
Yeah, it seemed like it was clear.
Yeah. I think worst case, what I'll do is I'll undo some of the changes and just keep the bare minimum.
Which file did my comment tag? So essentially you manually, I was kind of skimming through your response, Cecile. You just manually updated that one template, which is a test template to use the out of tree. Let me see what
Yeah, so we had that
file.
template, right, that was used for the upgrade test, and that one was still using entry, and the reason for that was because we were using the old version of CAPI and CAPZ to create the cluster, and so we didn't want to use like Helm charts and stuff. So we were just using the entry provider because it was easier. But since that other PR merged, that makes us use the newer release for upgrade tests. We don't really we don't have that constraint anymore. So I was trying to bump that template to just use all the regular stuff like out of tree and all the latest things, but it's failing right now.
Got it. Oh, so you actually just deleted that
Yeah.
entirely then? I see.
Well,
Cool.
at that point, I realized we don't need a duplicate template like a fork because it's essentially the same template. So I just got rid of it. But yeah.
But that broke the test.
So that part of the test, I kind of got a little bit distracted. And I might revert
All
those
good.
changes because I think maybe that's too much. But the one part that I was really actually trying to merge is the top part where we still have the Azure container registry config flag in a bunch of templates. And that one should have been removed in my previous PRs, but I think I missed some references when I did search and replace.
Cool. Yeah, and shout out to the cloud provider Azure team for pointing that out. So yeah, that was basically my
Yes.
comment was I was reading through and I was like, okay, awesome, this is super clean. And then I saw that like, oh, there's this other
Yeah.
change here. What's that? Cool. So I think let's keep it in because it sounds like we could probably maybe we can just punt on that upgrade weirdness and do that separately.
Yeah, let me do that. I'll clean up that PR so it's mergeable.
Okay, so I'll assign that to myself. I'll assign this to myself then.
Thanks.
Okay. All right. So if I may say so myself, we didn't do a very great job of kicking everything out of the milestone, but I think the stuff that's here makes sense. Some of this will definitely land. So what should be next? Or is this sufficient should we just go and do this work and not spend any more time recording ourselves talking about the release?
Are there
I think this
any
is good.
open PRs that aren't tied to an issue in the milestone that we should block the release? And I think we should have a pretty high bar for that at this point. But maybe just worth a quick skim.
This seems like a sensible thing for maintaining the ±1 affinity before we release, right? And it also seems easy.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely easy. I don't know if we like need it for the release and we could probably backport it.
Is the release introducing 129 support in any kind of interesting way? No. Okay. Then
All of our dependencies are still 128.
okay, so this could be
Release will
separate.
be-
In fact, if we're not 129 native, so to speak, on 113, we should probably kick this into the next release cycle. Because to me, what this does is it makes this, it sits our testing CI in perfectly to test 127, 128, and 129. No?
I'm not sure I totally followed that, but I mean, like right now, kubectl is 125.
Yeah.
Should be a
I don't think
supported
we should-
version at least.
I don't think we should talk about this anymore because it's super easy and we'll get it in. But I don't think it needs to be release blocking because it's just for CI. Unless, yeah, just for CI. Someone tell me if I'm wrong about that. We should get these in, I think. So Matt, you're already on it. Great. Okay, cool. So we just need retest. I'll just let the retroactive milestone tag happen. And in progress, LG to improve. Cool. I'm going to rely on others.
So
More. Go ahead, Matt.
So 4453 skip availability set creation would be cool to merge, but I think there's more if it really does fix the bug he's talking about, but there's a little more to do here. I wanted to create an E2E test that sort of proves this is an issue.
Let me
But
take
it's a little frustrating because I think he did identify and fix a bug, and it would be nice to just merge this, but I'm not sure if we're ready to do that.
On a bug fix, we could backport to.
Yeah, that might be safer just because I feel like this deserves an E2E test before we. Because I'm not 100% certain he's fixing a general bug, but I think it's true, or they are. Sorry.
Is it just that there's a superfluous availability set in resource group?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. When you use spot instances, I guess availability set is not part of the picture, and we're still creating one, and then you run into a problem, and this doesn't come up in testing because we only use spot instances in an AKS test. We don't use them in
Do we have any spot coverage at all?
for AKS.
No.
Otherwise, no. So that's the issue I opened, and I feel like that ought to be addressed before we merge this.
Is it clear to the PR author that we're waiting for the end-to-end test to merge this PR? Because when I read it, it sounded more to me like this was a follow-up thing that we should do, but not necessarily blocking this PR.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't make that clear. Or I guess I was just waiting. I was just hoping someone else would also review this and provide the confidence that I don't have that this nails the bug.
I could probably, let me see here. Let's see if I can find a candidate template. The new test metadata required to test spot should be very minimal.
Yeah.
Guide provider. Okay, let me do this with.
So yeah, you're right.
participation of
It's not
others.
really blocked, Cecile, by that. I just guess I'm describing the thought process that led me not to approve this. Well, I mean, someone else needs to review
Whoops.
it as well, but
What does our default template look like? Yes. I mean, how does this deal with machine pool? Is this just for machine deployments?
that's all I was going to look at. Pardon me. I'm not sure.
There's a
Makes
separate
sense.
template for machine pools right now. At some point, I think we should consider merging them, by the way, but unrelated.
Okay, so our default template only includes a single
Yes.
Linux and a single Windows machine. Sorry, machine deployment. So that's probably not a good candidate for introducing this.
The dash machine pool template is the one that has machine pool.
Yeah, but that's not the scenario that we're worried about. It's the machine deployment, right, Matt? Because the machine pool is not going to the availability set.
Right. You're only concerned about machine deployment.
This is going to be negative
Pardon
if
me.
you're using machine pools.
It better be.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I think the issue is that this bug only appears in specific regions which don't have availability zones support. And so
Right.
it's not like we could test this on every region. And since we test across regions, it would only apply in some cases.
And if you can come up with an AZ CLI command that tells you how many availability zones are available per region, I will give you $100. Because it's not possible with James path to do that as far as I can tell.
So you're saying, Cecile, that this is not strictly true. This is conditionally true in certain regions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, because we only create availability sets if there are no zones.
I feel
Right?
like
Oh wait, sorry. Is that true?
I'm not sure that's true. I think the thing he's describing
No.
is more general.
The release note, I think the release note says it. Spot machines failing to provision on regions without availability zones.
you mean the issue?
The release note at the bottom of the description.
Maybe
Yeah, it is.
spot
It is in the
machines
ones without zones. Yeah.
Oh, because an availability set has a tight affinity. It's a logical thing that requires availability zones infrastructure to actually work.
It's the opposite. It's CabZ makes the choice that if there are zones, we use zones. If there are no zones, we fall back to availability sets.
Got it. Okay. I think we should merge as PR. I don't think we want to support it. This sounds like a scenario that would require a dedicated end-to-end test.
Yeah.
And I would like to advocate that we merge as PR. Has anyone reviewed it?
I did.
Yeah, Matt has.
Okay, Matt, you want to consider LG team approving it?
No, I would like someone else to be the approver, ideally, rather than me.
Cool.
I can take a look.
I mean, there's not much to it. There's just a test and that one line of changed code.
Yeah. I think if we have support from docs that are saying this is a limitation, we should just merge it.
Cool. I like that idea.
And then maybe open an issue for an end-to-end test with spots.
I already did.
There we
Oh,
go.
perfect.
I see what's happening here.
VM options. Yeah, that's kind of clarifies it. So we would just need to do that, something similar to that in an E2E test to cover this.
This is such a charming human being's way of describing a test outcome. Okay, cool. Looks good to me. Whoa. Sorry, finger's still on the mend. Awesome work. And I will, in fact, force function us to merge this. Okay, cool. Whoops. Didn't want to do that. No. Cluster. All right. Back to the PRQ. I think that was basically the end of the PRQ in terms of things that might land. Is that right?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. I feel like the convergence of I don't know how to express it. We should be spending more time on fixing all the things we committed to in this meeting. Matt, you know what you're doing as a result of this meeting? Cecilia,
I know what I'm doing. Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sorry to extend this further, but could we have a quick 2-minute agreement on the deprecated pod identity stuff? Would
Oh, yeah,
that
good
help, Matt?
idea. Yeah, 'cause I don't
you drive
have a
the
strong opinion.
conversation, Cecilia.
Yeah, could you click on the PR, Jack, actually, if you don't mind, the remove AD pod identity support.
Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Cool.
so I really think we should undeprecate because well, really is a strong word, but I'm leaning towards
okay, wait,
undeprecating.
so can you undeprecate is that confused my brain.
Sorry,
So are you
could
saying
could
that
you
we should
scroll-
actually
Scroll
close
down
this
to the
PR?
bottom. Scroll down to the
No,
bottom
no,
and maybe
scroll down
Cecilia's
to the
comment.
bottom.
There you
Yeah,
go.
just this thing right there. So basically, we deprecated a bunch of types before because we were saying AD pod identity is deprecated. Therefore, you shouldn't use the types that use AD pod identity anymore. But now this PR, what it's doing is it's removing AD pod identity from underneath. So those types are actually not using AD pod identity anymore. And so I don't see any strong reason to keep them as deprecated. And I think it's confusing if we have the service principal type that's not deprecated, but then we have service principal with certificate deprecated or user assigned identity as deprecated.
Yeah.
I would love to hear your counter thoughts, Matt, if you think I'm not
My only
thinking
thought
about
was,
this right.
generally simpler is better, and we really want to encourage everybody to get on workload ID, although we maybe have some things to iron out still there. And so from that point of view, having fewer auth mechanisms to support is smaller surface for us to create bugs. On the other hand, this is definitely a case where users might already be using one of these mechanisms and really don't want to change. And so it's more user-friendly to not deprecate them if we don't have any strong driver to do so. So I guess I'm persuaded to undeprecate them. Except for
John, do you
manual,
have
Fu-
any thoughts?
except for
Future
manual
past
service
tense for the
principal.
win.
I don't have any new opinions. I think I do lean slightly more toward let's just keep them for now while they're not using AAD pod identity. So yeah,
Okay. That sounds like consensus to me.
Cool.
I can go make. the
Okay, does my
changes.
comment suggest that I actually understand what we're talking about? Because that's if I do, then that's how I feel about it.
Yes, that's
Yep.
correct.
Exactly.
Perfect. Yeah, you explained it way better than I did.
Okay, and I got to use the future past tense. I'm super stoked.
Sweet.
Okay,
Wait.
great. Does that mean that this PR needs one more little massaging and then ready to go?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
It's ended.
is that practical to do in the next 24, 36 hours?
Oh, yeah, yeah. It'll take me like an hour. It's mostly the biggest work will be rearranging the
Just a
docs.
log.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I hit mute in time?
Cool.
If you don't know the answer, that's a yes. Great. That was a very loud sneeze. Okay, cool. Thanks, team.
All right.
Go fight, win.
Bye.
Be out there.